ahead. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, my name's Travis. My dad over there, his name is Rick. We got our hands on a 1960 El Camino. We're gonna jump back in time, do a walk around from where we picked it up yesterday. Let's go ahead and dig into it. So right off the bat, there is no drivetrain. The motor and transmission was ripped out of it, used as a donor for something else, but the drive shaft and the rear end is still in it. Master cylinder is still there, no power brakes, single service system. It also appears there is no power steering. And if you look in front of the windshield, you can see it had a factory spotlight. It actually had dual factory spotlights. There's one on the driver's side also. The spear going down the side is a little beat up. There's a little bit of rust in the rear quarter panel behind the rear wheel there. These back tailgates rust out horrendously, and this one is in decent shape. There's a little rust in it, but by and large it's decent. You can see on the plate here the last time it was registered was 1979, and it had a little fender bender here on the driver's side fin. Not sure what happened there. Maybe that was something that happened in the yard here. You can see we have some extra parts in the trunk bed, whatever you want to call it. We got a seat, we got the front cross member where the radiator mounts, and there's an extra tailgate in there and some other goodies. But let's go ahead and open this door and see what's going on in here. We have the grill, that's good. We have all the gauges seem to be in it. Saw a couple of headlights down there, that's good. And check out that aftermarket air conditioner, that's pretty cool. That's definitely from the 60s. And don't look too close at those floors, don't worry about that. You might tell me not to buy it, and I don't need to hear that. We got a front bumper on it, which is pretty cool. Chrome doesn't look that bad. It's been knocked a few times up top there, but that's okay. That's okay. Every single panel has a dent in it, but I'm not worried about it. The fender well is there. It's not rusted out. You can see that spot where the factory spotlight would have went. And coming over here to the bed, you can see all of our extra goodies here. Our seat, the radiator support, and that extra tailgate, which really doesn't even look to be in any better shape than the one that's on it. So I'm not really sure what the extra one's for. But that's all fine though. We're taking her as she is. Come as you are, come one, come all. The patina, the way that it's aged, the color, everything is just perfect. It's awesome. We might fix some things, maybe like the big dents, but it's cool the way it is. With the purchase of the car, we're also getting this replacement section for the driver's side rear quarter panel fin taillight area. So anyways, let's go ahead and load this thing up on the trailer before it gets dark, because it's getting dark so early now. We'll get it back home where we can do what's right by this beautiful piece of American history and put it back on the road once again for the first time in 40 some years. Are they unhooked?
Yeah, let me get up here and see if it needs to be steered.
Okay. And I also have some very good news for you guys. We finally, after 3 months, obtained a title for the 1946 International, which we're so stoked about. Dad and me are so happy about that. That's why you haven't been seeing any more videos of it. I know you guys love this truck, we love this truck. So we're gonna be doing another video on this soon. We want to do like a mini road trip in it, drive it somewhere 200, 500 miles, something like that. So make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because you don't want to miss another video on this. Good enough.
Is that good?
Yeah, it had no motor and tranny, so we sourced a 327 with a 350 turbo that we're going to put back in it. It does have a title. I'll tell you just a little bit about what our plans are for this car. because I think it's good to just at least set some expectations, you know. There's some things we are gonna do and there's some things that we're not gonna do. One of the things we're not gonna do is do paint and body work. The way it is the way it's gonna be when it's done as far as looks go. The patina on it is just perfect. We have a hood for it that looks almost just like the rest of the car. We love the color on it. We love the way the bed looks. It's got a little bit of rust in the quarter panels, a lot of rust in the floor. I think we will fix the rust in the floor. But as far as the cosmetics on the outside goes, we're gonna leave it the way it looks now. We're gonna do the brakes, we're gonna do the tires, we're gonna put this 327 and 350 turbo back in it. We probably won't hop up the motor, we might reseal it and put it back in. It's gonna be mostly stock. As far as an interior goes, it's pretty much shot, but after we do the floors, we would like to put some seat covers on it, maybe do a basic carpet kit, door panels, recover the seats. Kind of going for like a patina rod look, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd say that's what we're going for.
Yeah, I think that's the best option for this car. I think it's the coolest that way. We do have the seat for it. We do have the grill. Right?
We have a grill.
We have the grill and
grill's rough. Front header panel. It's there, but it's rough.
We'll probably switch it to 15s, but our wheel and tire combo, as far as the color of the wheels, hubcaps, and tires, that's up for debate. So if you got an idea you think is cool, drop it down in the comments, and then we'll just jump right into it.
We'll run the numbers. 397 8487. Says it's a 71 Camaro head.
71 Camaro head. We're pretty much 100% positive this motor's been taken apart, rebuilt, put back together. I mean, you can just see obvious signs. Well, we just took the valve cover off and nothing seems to really jump out at me. You know, none of the rockers are just off of the valves, and you know, looks pretty decent. But you can tell, you can see that blue silicone right there. You can see this red RTV, and this right here looks to be a newer style gasket on this exhaust manifold. I don't think these exhaust manifolds are going to be usable because you can see where the bolts go through. They're kind of broke off right here. The manifold is broke off on all these points where the bolt goes through. See, there's some red RTV on the intake there. Aftermarket valve covers, aftermarket thermostat housing. But we don't know anything about the internals. We don't know how many times it's been rebuilt. We don't know if it's bored 60 over. We don't know anything like that. We're just kind of rolling with it. It was a good deal on the motor and trans. I think we bought both of them for 500 bucks, so you can't really go wrong. But another thing I noticed is this fan pulley. I mean, it's not bolted on, but you can't get if you bolted that fan pulley on, you couldn't get the alternator to go this way enough to get the belt off. So we're gonna have to remount the alternator over here, because I have no idea how they expected you to get that alternator on and off. What, unbolt the fan every time you want to do it? That doesn't make any sense. But we do have HEI electronic ignition, so that's a pretty cool little jig to have, like that. The engine did turn over when we went to get it, and we twisted the harmonic balancer a little bit, and I could hear compression in there, and it wasn't locked up, so I figured that was a good enough sign for us to just go ahead and do the deal. But we want to run a compression check on it right now and see, you know, what we're working with, because if all the cylinders have good compression, I mean anything over 80 really, it's gonna run. I mean, if you have compression, you know it's good to go. Go ahead. Oops, sorry, I had the button pressed. Go ahead. Okay, yeah, 110.
Okay.
Go ahead. 90. Go ahead. Yeah, 120. Go ahead. 95, almost 100. Go ahead. Oosh. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah, 115, almost 120. Okay. 90. Ready. That one's kind of struggling. It's at 70.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, last one. we hit 100. So what we want to do now is actually make this engine run on the engine stand if we can before we put it in, just to kind of eliminate that problem. And we're going to crank it over on top dead center number 1 so that we can put the plugs in the right firing order. This is a trick I learned a little while ago about how to know which cylinder is number 1, you know, this side or that side. And if you look at a motor, it looks perfectly symmetrical, but if you can see, this valve cover is a little bit more forward than that one, and the one that's a little more forward is always your number 1 cylinder. But you know, you can cheat on a Chevy. It says it right here on the manifold. It says 1, 3, 5, 7, and 2, 4, 6, 8, but you don't always have that. So whichever valve cover is further forward is number 1. Okay. Go ahead. Keep it. Go ahead. Yeah, that's it. So I felt compression on my finger. That's how you know it's on the compression stroke, top dead center, cylinder number 1. But also, you can double check right here on the harmonic balancer. You can see this notch right here, and it's right here at 0 degrees. So before and after, this is when you set your timing later, but this is 4, 8, 12 degrees before top dead center and after. So we're right there on the money. I got my gas can with clean gas, and usually I hook my electric fuel pump up because we're dealing with cars that are so old that you already know the diaphragms in them are bad. But this fuel pump actually has a fighting chance of working, so I just plugged it into the fuel pump that's on it, and then I guess we'll know if the fuel pump on it works.
Where's that screwdriver? You need to put the cap down.
There we go.
Yeah, let it flush that crap out of there.
It's working.
Good wood. Shit.
Check the oil on this thing. Uh-oh. Now your whole oil stick came out here.
So,
Yeah, it's got oil in it, but I'm kind
it's a
of...
little low. How low is it?
Hold up, I don't know.
Still low?
It's low. I'd add a quart or 2. Yeah.
Ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
We don't know. We need to check it and see if it's fine. Ready?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Let me get a test light and let's just make sure.
The ignition was unplugged, so we're gonna try it again. And go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah. Nothing. The power wire going to the distributor on this loom was unplugged. It was falling out of the plastic piece here, so I pushed it up in there, and we'll just see if it fires now.
Pull this.
Well, it lit.
Get ready. This will be pulled off. You ready?
Yeah. A little bit of fire came out.
Just trying to make sure we ain't doing something that's going to cause a fire. Idling way too fast. Are you holding the throttle?
No, I'm not. It's just doing what it's doing there. Well,
Unless that choke's on. You need You hold that choke open.
All right.
Stick a screwdriver in it so it'll go down to idle. Idling too fast. It just needs to idle. Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that's all we want. Shaking around too much. I don't want it to flip over. I want it to idle down.
So we had some direct vacuum leaks straight into the intake. Plugged those off and think someone put a cam in it?
I don't know. That's what it sounds like.
Open headers sound like cams.
Yeah, whatever. Don't matter. That's what's going in it.
So our next order of business is to pressure wash the engine bay right here. Want to get some of this caked on old grease off of the engine bay. You can see all that right there. You know, it's just grease. You know, you grease these zerts. There you can see one of the grease zerts, and it just hardens up over time. So we'll just pressure wash some of this off, clean it up. I think we're going to spray paint the inside black. You see how it was black there? I mean, it's a cheap bang for the buck. The engine's out of it. You're going to pressure wash it. You might as well make this look decent while the motor's out. Just to throw this in here real quick, if you're ever curious about the tools Dad and me use, if you want to pick up some of the stuff that we use to get cars running and work on cars, our basic toolkit we use, the jack we use, the jack stands we use, the remote starter switch we use when we're starting cars, all that, even the oil we use is in a link in the description to all the basic tools we use for these cars on Amazon. If you want to check that list out, maybe pick some stuff out for your own projects. It's just like a comprehensive list to cover your shop basics, really. And by the way, this entire pile here and the one on the other side came from underneath this car. It is probably the biggest rat's nest we've ever uncovered in a car we've bought. That is insane. You found that clock delete that goes where? Over on the dash.
It goes on the dash.
Right. And it was in that pile?
And it was in there. I dug it out of there.
Oh, man.
They had drug this in there.
That's crazy. They even took the thermostat out.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought tools.
We're gonna take a look at these brakes and tackle that potential problem.
Coming down.
Okay. Why are we not turning here? What's going on? Oh, there we go. There you go. Old ball bearings.
Are they?
Yeah. Let's bleed the brakes and go. He's got the old ball bearings instead of what do they call the new style? I don't know. They're not ball bearings, they're
Call them combs.
yeah, they're coned bearings. They're a lot better. But yeah. Well, brakes are dirty, but you can see they still got a lot of meat on the shoe. Everything seems to be there. All the hardware's there, not broke. Wheel cylinders there. Coming over here to the driver's side, these ones are about the same situation. A lot of cobwebs, but a lot of spiders. Probably 5 or 6 spiders in there. But shoes look decent. A lot of meat left on them. Front and rear shoe. All the hardware's there. Even got some color on them. These are going to need to be redone, obviously. See those cracks in the boot there, but that's nothing. That's nothing at all. These right here, these hoses, hear them cracking. You can just see that right there. So we'll do that. Not a big deal. Oopsies.
See if this jack stands. See if this is one underneath there.
So I'm unadjusting the brakes, or at least I think I am. Because sometimes when those brakes wear, they wear a ridge into it, and the pads, the shoes sit in the ridge, and the drum can't come forward off of it because of the wear. So I'm trying to unadjust them to see if that helps, because they're freely turning. They just won't come off. I mean, they seem like they're not even hitting. There we go.
Well, the drum looks nice.
Again, the shoe looks okay, pretty meaty, but the front one over here is, it's a little skinny. See that? It's a hair bit skinny, but it's not on its last leg. These look pretty decent. Yeah, not too bad.
it's moving a little bit.
And the driver's side rear brakes are the same situation. Shoes are a little thin, so we're gonna order rear shoes, but we can get by with the fronts. We got the front all taped off, firewall taped off, our fenders taped off, our grill, we got a sheet laying here. We're gonna paint this black today just to make it look good before we put the engine in. Let's go see. Dad should be mixing the paint here. Let's see here. Looking good? Mm-hmm. All right.
Got some hardener in it. Put some hardener in it.
So the engine bay is all painted. We have a bunch of parts ordered for next week. We ordered all the stuff to do the brakes, the wheel cylinder kit, the master cylinder kit, the brake hoses. We ordered an engine wiring harness for all the lights and all the accessories that go on the engine. So next week, hopefully, we might be able to set the engine and transmission in the car. And this is going to be a multi-part series. So this isn't the only video we're going to be doing on this. We have so much more to do. This project's going to be at least a couple months. So like always, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing and watching this video. Turn on the notification bell so you get a notification when we put out another video on this car. Because over the next few weeks and even the next few months, we're going to be hitting this heavy. I hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys in the next one.